All right, looks like we're live. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Modern Mortgage Show, where I interview mortgage professionals who share their stories and modern information about the industry. I'm your host, Rocco, and to end the week, my guest is Zack Nawabi. He's the CEO at the Nawabi Group out of Los Angeles, California. Zack, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Rocco.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here. So, Zack, why don't we start up the show? Can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and give us a brief introduction of who you are?
Sure. Well, this is Zack Nawabi, obviously. I've been in this business, let's say I started back in 2003 when the market was actually absolutely great back then and still great. But I rode the wave, left the industry for 3 years, came back and started with the retail bank. That was there for 6 years before I started my own company.
Awesome. So you've been in the industry as a whole for about 13 or 17 years
Seven,
now?
give and take.
Awesome. So did you do any work before you got into the industry?
Yeah, work was just, how old was I when I got in the industry? Let's see. I was 20. I was still in college. I was just doing
Hmm.
part-time work.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what made you really want to get into the industry?
Well, back then when I was 20, majority of my friends were in the industry, or I keep seeing people, driving nice cars, and I'm like, how do these people are affording these type of cars? So obviously, I chased the
Mhm.
money at that age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so moving along, we're obviously in a very weird situation as of right now in weird times. What are
Yeah.
you guys doing at your company to get through this disruption and uncertain period of time?
Well, basically, we're advising all of our clients and what's been going on with the industry, and
Hmm.
keeping all of our referral partners up to date. We do chat, especially with the virtual meetings now. It's a lot
Yeah.
easier to sit down there and do 5 to 10 minutes of chat, and then uh, just keeping everybody knowing what's going on in the industry. I mean, daily changes every day. Now, from the lender aspect, from Fannie and Manny aspect, the guidelines are changing constantly. So we just have to want to make sure that everyone's up to date.
Awesome. So definitely communication is key and keeping them up to date. On a more positive note, what would you say? So you've been in the industry for 17 years now. You said you got into the industry because of the money.
Yes.
Has that changed, or what would you say is the most satisfying or rewarding thing about your job? Is it still the money, or is it helping people? What is it now?
No, no, it's not about the money anymore. Actually, it's basically about the mission to help clients fulfill the American dream. It's touche, but it is
Hmm.
true.
Yeah.
There's nothing but more satisfying than sitting across the client's table when they're signing their loan documents and the smile in their face. Finally, they're able to achieve what they've been dreaming about. That's the most satisfying. Obviously, the money comes later on. You know, if you do the job right and you take care of the clients, the money's going to come.
Hmm. 100%. The money's great, but there's nothing like helping people and seeing people just happy and benefiting from your job and your service.
Absolutely. That's more satisfying to me than anything else.
So shifting gears here, when you first got into the industry, you said you were about 20 years old.
Yes.
Um, what were some of your struggles or obstacles you'd faced early on?
Well, back then it was a lot easier. You had a lot
Hmm.
of lenders that were doing steady loans. As it was very lenient back then. I always say
Hmm.
if you had a heartbeat, I would get you a loan, basically. So there were struggles because later on down the road, like 2007, 8, and 9, that's when the market had crashed. I saw the struggles. I wasn't prepared for it, nor did anyone told me to be prepared for something that's going to happen in the market. So it literally caught me off guard. Like most of the people got caught off guard, but learned my lesson from that time. When I came back in the industry, I knew what I was needed to do. I changed my mindset of shifting from going after the money into taking care of the clients. And as soon as I
Yeah.
changed that mindset, it actually helped me a lot. It helped me transition from being in it with one of the biggest retail banks out there that does home mortgages into splitting and going on my own.
Yeah. So what about so you were 20 when you started. That was quite young. Was age an issue at all for you? Like, advising people that are much older than you and you just as a
Yeah,
20-year-old?
I think at that point that was based on issue of experience.
Mhm.
Obviously, the longer you're in this industry, the more you gain experience and you gain more knowledge. So it wasn't just the age factor; it was also the knowledge factor. At the age of 20, 21, how are you going to tell a kid that is making 40, 50 a month, almost 80,000, $900,000 a month? I thought I knew it all, just like a lot of people. But
Mhm.
the when the market did hit, it really humbled me as far as taking care of the clients first.
Yeah, experience is definitely a huge factor.
Yes.
And when did you start? When did you start your own company, the Nawabi Group?
Well, the Nawabi Group just started, I would say, towards the end of last year. I left
Okay.
the industry. I left the retail industry in 2017. I meant to join another brokerage. Um, Obviously, back in 2003, I was with broker community, and
Hmm.
when I went to retail, I kind of touched loss of how do you do loans in the broker side. So I didn't want her to just jump off and learn everything, like go on my own right away. I wanted to see how they were running their shops. I wanted to gain some experience from the mentors that I had in the past for the last 2 years. I switched two companies just because I wanted to learn the systems. I wanted to see which one company was doing what compared to the other company so I could put it together and create my own system. So basically, what I did was I combined three companies' systems into hybrid, which is mine, which one system is my retail bank, and the two with the broker shops.
Awesome. So let's say you were talking to yourself when you were, 17 years ago. Let's say you were having a conversation with yourself, or just, any loan officer that's starting out in the industry. What advice would you give to them, or what tips would you give?
I would say, first of all, don't chase the money. First and
Mm-hmm.
foremost, don't fall for the flashy material objects because there's a lot of people out there flashing things, and don't fall for it. Um, Go ahead and become a mentee of someone that's actually doing the business the right way because that's how you're going to build your career. A lot of people that jump into this business for the money, it becomes a very short career. And if you're planning to stay in this industry for a long time, go learn how to do the business the right way and become a mentee of someone that's actually doing the business, not just what they did in the past. Because in the past,
Yeah.
a lot of things have changed. A lot of things are changing constantly. So you want to be a mentee of someone that's actually constantly doing business and the numbers that they're doing.
Hmm. Yeah. So you would say get into the industry for the right reasons, number one. And number two, go find a coach or a mentor that's currently doing what you want to do or what you want to accomplish.
Absolutely. And
Perfect.
don't get sidetracked by broker shops or other companies are throwing flashy objects because that's not gonna work well for you.
Hmm. Okay, cool. So, in recent years, technology has made its way into the industry. Since you started, it's definitely made its way and impacted the industry. How
Oh
would you
yeah,
say this has affected you and your company?
it's actually I love it. It's very streamlined. The process is a lot faster.
Hmm.
Clients are a little bit more for the ones majority of them are tech savvy. You will have some clients or elderly that are not that tech savvy, but for the majority part, everyone's tech savvy, and then it makes the process just go a lot faster. Where before we used to, have folders and folders and folders of applications, their documentations, and it used to be all laying around all over the tables, desks. But now everything is streamlined. You just upload your application, fill it out in front of you. Application comes back to us. We will know right away within matter of hour or less to know that if you're qualified or not.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely allows tasks to be streamlined and done in more efficient ways. And if you adapt to it, then it'll work for you rather than against you, and it'll make your life easier. Um, so are there any modern strategies that you are using in terms of technology or social media, in terms of scaling your production or maintaining better relationships with your past clients, or even just organizing and systemizing your business?
I started implementing CRMs. There's a lot of
Okay.
CRMs out there that people do use, and that's one of the questions they always ask me: which CRM is the best? And my
Hmm.
answer to them is the one that you actually use. All these CRMs
Yeah.
might have, bells and whistles. Go with something that's good, friendly to you, that you're able to use it, and it makes everything a lot easier. You're able to stay in front of your clients all the time with their birthday reminders, wedding anniversaries, or their annual mortgage review alerts. You could set it up where you're always constantly in front of your clients, and that's the best thing to do. And stay organized. I mean, you can be it's not in the past where I used to be able to write it on notes, because notes, you write it, if you don't look at it, it never will pop in your face again. As opposed
Yeah.
to doing it through CRM, where you set alerts and it starts popping in your face, because everyone's on their phone and computer for the majority of the day.
Hmm. Yeah, and I agree with that. The best CRM is the one you use, because many people get started with one, but they don't follow through with it, because it does take time to keep it updated and organized. But when you do it properly, it's really effective. And like the point you brought up with taking notes and stuff, that's important, because you know you must maintain relationships with your past clients. That's crucial, and just staying in front of them, because then they'll, come back to you.
Oh yeah, that's where they start sending you referrals, and keep coming back to what, as soon as market shifts, or they might need cash out of their equity to pay some of their bills. Whatever the question is, they'll be your clients. You got to treat your clients for lifetime. You got to treat them that way,
Hmm.
because they will all be there for a lifetime if you treat them the right way.
Yeah, the average loan can result in 4 to 5 more transactions over the life of a customer. So if you're not, staying in front of them, like we mentioned, then someone else will be getting in contact with them, and staying in front of them, and they'll just, take your clients. Um, what CRM do you use?
I just recently changed from Jingo, which had a lot of bells and whistles. I couldn't get my head around it. It just
Mhm.
required a lot of time from me. And Jingo is actually really good CRM, to be honest with you, if you know how to use it properly and spend the time to learn it. I just changed
Yeah.
it to Be in Touch. Be in Touch
Okay.
is actually syncs up with my Point, which has all my clients' information. So whenever I'm doing a loan, entering the information on Point, it actually just transfers to the CRM.
Okay, so what was the main reason for switching? Just it's more simple for you?
Yes, I try to make it very simple for me, because if it's not simple, I'm not going to use it, and there's no point
Yeah.
of having a CRM that you're not going to use.
Yeah, and like we said, that's the most important thing. Have you gotten to the social media side of things at all, or do you use it in any way to pull in more business
I
or
do.
brand yourself in a way?
Yeah, majority of the people that are on my Facebook, they actually know what I do. Um, and
Okay.
then I also utilize Instagram. I was utilizing LinkedIn about a year ago. I haven't tapped into it yet. Just been busy. But it's something that I will definitely go back and start utilizing LinkedIn more than, let's say, Instagram or Facebook.
Okay. Yeah. LinkedIn's a powerful tool as well, but Facebook and Instagram are both really good. Um, where do you where do you see all of this going in the future, in terms of technology, social media, and how it impacts the mortgage industry specifically?
I mean, we're already here. If you don't adapt to it, you're gonna fall behind.
Hmm.
It's been here. My advice to people is learn it and start using it, because as you what's been going on in the economy or everywhere, worldwide, everyone's sitting at home working remotely from home,
Yeah.
like how we are right now, sitting at our home. We can't go out. So technology is allowing us to do that by virtual meetings. And even after this quarantine is over, even after this coronavirus is done, I think a lot of people are going to get used to working from home,
Yep. I
and
agree.
and and it will make sense for employers to give their employees 1 or 2 days working from home as opposed to coming to the office, because a you want them to work efficiently, so they don't have to sit on the traffic, get stressed out, and they're able to basically complete the task even if they start working at 6, take the break 7 or whatever it is, but they'll finish the task and even probably even do more than
Hmm.
coming to the office and wasting that time in traffic. So I think the technology is definitely gonna, in our industry, it's gonna be crucial. I mean, it already is, but it's definitely gonna streamline everything moving forward.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think um, after this whole, this is all over with and it blows over, employers are going to start to see how easy it is to, have their employees work remotely, and just the efficiency, I think, will go up. Um, and moving along, what is your business primarily? Who do you guys work with? Is it first time buyers, or who do you guys work with the most?
For the most part, I deal with a lot of purchases. People that are my referral partners, either
Hmm.
most of my realtors that I work with, they send me their clients for pre-approved for the majority part. But it's not just the first-time home buyers. I work with investors that are looking to buy, adding more properties into their portfolio. I don't have a, how would I say it? I help everyone. I don't turn down anyone that has, let's say, someone's buying a house for, like, let's say, I don't know if you can find a house. Oh, we could, around 100,000 in California, in outskirts, or someone's buying
Hmm.
over $1 million property. It doesn't bother me what the loan size is. My goal is to
Okay.
be able to help the client, and that happens when you change your mindset from chasing the money into helping the client.
Yeah, definitely agree. So if we were to transition into the buyer side now, what do you see as a big misconception or fear that your clients do have before working with you in regards to getting a loan or purchasing a home?
Well, it's not about so much about the fear. It's
Yeah.
just they just need to get educated. When I do sit down with my agents, we do go through a buyer's consultation. We sit
Mm.
there, we explain to them the whole process, how it works. So it takes away a lot of fear out of the process, because we have already advised them what takes place in the middle of the purchase. Because purchase can be very critical. A lot of stress comes into buyers in the process, and we try to make it as simple as possible, as stressless as possible. So when we do have a buyer's consultation, we go through every step to let them know, hey, you're going to be doing we're going to be doing an inspections, appraisal. There's going to be a loan approval. There's going to be conditions that the underwriter is going to need. Then you're going to sign loan documents. Then the money. I mean, we basically break it down from A to Z. So when the time comes, they're already well aware of it.
Yeah, and that's going back to your whole purpose is to just help people, and it's important to find a loan officer who knows their stuff and is able to educate you and advise you throughout the whole process. Like you just said, from A to Z, from start to finish, and just hold your hand throughout the whole process, because they don't know, and they don't know like the whole process and what's going on. So that's where it's really important to find a loan officer who advises them and holds their hand throughout the process.
Yeah, it's nerve wracking when you're buying your first home, and as exciting it is, it's also a very stressful process. And
Yep.
our goal, my team's goal, is to take the stress away from clients. So we try to keep the communication lines open through emails, text messages, phone calls, all sorts of open communication as much as we can, because nowadays, going back to technology, it's a lot easier for when you send a text to someone and they'll reply back to you.
Yeah.
or even video messaging. Hey, we're approved. We try to utilize as many tools as we can to let our clients know that what's going on with the process, so they don't stay uninformed for no more than 2 days. That's our goal. We try to keep
Hmm.
our clients informed at least 3 times a week, and if not three, at least minimum 2 times.
Yeah, very cool. Communication is huge because, like you did say, it is a scary process for them. It's one of the biggest investments most people ever make. So it is scary, and communicating with them on a regular basis is important because they're scared. They don't know if they're making the right decisions. So keeping them up to date is crucial.
And the communication, if you stay communicating with your clients will not go and buy something in the middle of a process.
Hmm.
You can avoid headaches. You could avoid a lot of headaches, because they don't know what they're. I mean, as soon as most of the clients, when they hear approval, they think automatically, "Hey, we got the
Hmm.
house. Let's go
Yeah.
spend money and buy furnitures, or let's go buy a car, or spend money out of the credit cards." If you're actually doing your part, that will not take place.
100% agree. And Zach, I really want to thank you so much for coming on the show today. I had an
Thank you.
amazing time speaking with you, and I really, really appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Likewise.
And thank you to all the viewers for watching, and we'll see you on Monday for our next episode.